Okay, I'm live on Clubhouse and YouTube. This is me up in this cozy little cabin. Let's see, poor connection. Try to find a stronger signal. Not gonna happen. I am in a little place in Estes Park because my husband's working up here today, and it's about an hour drive into the mountains, and we had all these errands we needed to run. Let's see, replays on. Okay, so I'm going to just dive right in for replays. I always want to respect that. So hi Tanisha, how are ya? I'm going to get a notebook so I can keep notes again on who's here. Tanisha's the 9 of diamonds. Let's get out a piece of paper. And the card spread. Okay, Tanisha, 9 of diamonds. And nobody's in the clubhouse room yet, but that's okay. Okay, so I got to tip this up so I'm not crouching over. So this reading today, this talk today, because it's the Ace of Spades today, is about, it's about how it's looking at the Ascension hand for the Ace of Spades, for the card system itself. And like one thing I just got to say about today so far, oh my gosh, how's it been for y'all? To me, it's been kind of a difficult calling to be in my truth, my unapologetic. Like yesterday, the gift was there's always a gift from the day before, I'm finding. So the 2 of Spades gift to yesterday was choose yourself, choose your own story, choose to be on your own team. No matter what's going on around you, like when you're feeling pulled out of yourself and stuff like that. But the message for today, the Ace of Spades, is the defined self, the unique self, the actualized individual. Like Ace of Spades people can seem kind of distant and dismissive and like, what's their connectivity to other people? They're very strong individuals and they tend to be alone a lot of their lives because their message to the world, everyone is a billboard of their card, which is a message to the world. And their message to the world is be an individual. Keep some things secret. I think that's why the secrets card is associated with the Ace of Spades, is because the authentic true self is always your secret. Nobody knows you but you and maybe your dog. But that private individual self, okay, so the Ace of Spades is the card system. That's a very interesting bridge right there. The card system is about revealing you to yourself, and that's why it's a bitter pill. It's sweet at first and then it turns bitter in the mouth. That's from Revelation chapter 11 or whatever, the verse that Robert Camp says, the 7 thunders and the angel put this, there was a little book and I ate it, and at first it was sweet and then it became bitter. And that is, at first you're like, oh my God, it's accurate, it's real, it's describing me, it's a thing, it's both predictive and descriptive. And then the bitterness is, damn, I got to look at myself. This is showing me my issues. And that is primarily the card hand to the left and down, is this reflection of what you need to work on and what you need to see. And that's the boot camp that we've been in with the card system. And what Ascension Cardology does is it looks at the hand to the right and up. Hi, Rikara.
Hey, you.
Hey, lady. You're in both. Oh, Rikara just joined and Sue just joined, and I'm looking at Clubhouse, so I've got Clubhouse and YouTube. Yeah, I'm late too. I just started like 2 minutes ago. Okay.
Oh, you're on YouTube?
Yeah, I'm on YouTube too. How are you doing, Sue?
I'm fine.
Good. Good. So the Ace of Spades is in your reverse hand. The Ace of Spades is in my Ascension hand. It's Venus, and I'm finding definition with myself in the context of relationships with women very specifically. This little disagreement arose. Hi, Savannah. This disagreement arose in this messenger thread that I have with my lady friends. There's like about 6 or 7 of us, and I did a reading on something last night, and there was some disagreement in the group, and I was like, I love them to death, and I'm gonna stick to my guns. So that Ace of Spades challenge was for me to stay in this defined sense of self where I'm not gonna be pulled out of my truth to the right or left or up or down. It's like a dot in the middle. That's how I think of the Ace of Spades. Um, and let's see. So yeah, and then Dr. Sue, it's Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter. It's your planetary ruling card as a December 6th Queen of Clubs, and it's your Jupiter. So how's it feeling today for you, Dr. Sue?
Well, it's like it's a pretty peaceful day. It's kind of laid back, unusually laid back. Um, no stressors. Um, just there is just being. I guess you could say.
Oh,
Today seems like a day of contentment. I I don't know how that plays in with my cards and the Ace of Spade. Where am I at on the ascension? You were saying something, but I was looking at you on on YouTube and listening to you at the same time.
am I the big face in your living room? Hi, I love you. Yeah, well, it's your Jupiter
I
card.
I see you waving your hands all the way around.
Yeah, and there's a delay with YouTube, so I don't know
Yeah,
if it's in sync with your hearing my voice on um Clubhouse. But yeah, so I love what you said about it being a day of contentment. And it may be particularly for you because you're comfortable with the Ace of Spades, but for those who are more codependent, shall we say, have more twos, more nines, more, oh, let's merge, let's be comfortable. Like, for example, a heart in the moon position or things that predispose us to want to be enmeshed. The Ace of Spades can be a little daunting because it's like stand in your individuality.
yeah,
But I like what you said about contentment because when I do find that sweet spot, especially when it's okay with me to be in disagreement with my women friends, that's one of the biggest challenges for me, and it's in my ascension hand. So if the 7 of diamonds goes to the right and up, Mercury, Venus, there it is, Venus. It means I love the card system, but it also means Venus in the context of home and relationships with women. I must stand up as an individual. So that's
of
definitely
course.
an invitation for me to not be enmeshed.
Yeah, and the Ace of Spades showed up at the appropriate time. Even though it showed up today, was that incident? Did it happen today or did it happen yesterday?
Oh, today.
Oh, on the Ace. See, you're right on point. You're right on your path.
In
You
fact,
know,
it it began just after midnight. I did a video at like 12:30 last night.
yeah,
Yeah, isn't it
yeah,
crazy? Crazy accurate, this tapestry of reality, this yeah.
yeah, yeah. It was and this is a step off point for you. Sometimes we don't realize the power we have until we take that step. We take that leap of faith. And stand up on your own 2 feet. Or as we say in cardology, stand squarely in your square. Stand in your
Oh.
square. Own your square. Don't let anybody come in there tell you how to run your square. What would I look like letting another queen of club come in and or anybody other than a queen of club come in and tell me how to stand and how to populate my square? No,
Oh.
I'm going to tell you how I do it. And if you want to connect or exchange views and attributes and personalities, then I'm okay with that. But
Yeah.
I have to take advantage of being up there with the royals. And if that eagle is in overdrive, guess what? My ego is in overdrive because I am.
Mm. That's why I think the Ace of Spades represents secrets because I am a secret to everyone but myself. Nobody knows what it's like for me to be me.
Exactly.
Yeah, this is a day to really drop deep into the honoring of the self. That feels like medicine to me. Thank
Oh, of course it's medicine. It's healing.
Yeah.
You, you're,
Yeah.
you're, you're healing. That's the healing part of being on the ascension side,
Yeah. Yeah, so let's look at Ace of Spades Ascension. So this would relate directly to Dr. Sue as planetary ruling Ace of Spades. It's your ascension path today. Like this would be, how do you step into your best self? What is the invitation of today? And it would relate to the card system, which is what I'm most curious about because I've never analyzed the hand of the Ace of Spades as in this is the card system, this is cardology. But so let's begin with the moon card would be the 7 of hearts. Drop down and to the right to get the moon card as the emotional launch pad. So that would be in the positive. Like in the negative, it's like, oh, betrayal and the need to forgive. But once you're on the other side of forgiveness, you've moved past all the obstacles. You've gotten up over the attachment of needing other people to be a particular way. So all sevens are like you're going down this road, do, and then there's this obstacle. You have to raise your vibration to get up over whatever that attachment is about. And the 7 of hearts is attachment to an emotional state or to needing someone to be a certain way. So it's that ability to just let go and divine unconditional love.
Yeah. Yeah. If you look at it, those are two co-coordinates.
Yes.
There, and I have another set of co-coordinates, which are nines.
Tell me about that.
I'd have to do the calculations on the spirit value and
Well,
see which one is more powerful.
what do you mean by co-coordinate?
Uh, okay, 7 is 7. They're two. They're together.
They
I
add
have
up to 40, which is the Ace of Spades.
okay.
Well, that's just adding them together, but you're talking about the soul and the spirit value, the mystic test
Yeah,
book.
the spirit. If you add it together, just like you said, it comes up to what?
40.
Now go down. Go down to my co-coordinates on the nine. What does that equal to?
You mean the 9 of Spades and 9 of Clubs?
Yeah.
70, which would be 18, which would be the 5 of Clubs. Well, that's going actually in the downward direction, and I wanted to take it up. We were picking up the 7 of Hearts as a moon card rather than a
Yeah.
Mercury card, but that's fascinating in itself that my first 2 cards add up to the
And
Ace of
and
Spades.
co-coordinates is explained. It's explained in the Mystic Test book.
Hmm.
I think I shot it in your back channel or your inbox on what page it was that explains about the co-coordinates when you have two like 7 of diamonds, 7 of hearts, 7 of clubs, 7 of spades. You have those two coordinates together, and sometimes one you cancel it. One cancels the energy of one cancels out the other one, and it's like if one was 5 and the other one was 7. Well, you take the 5 from the 7 and you leave 2 on the side that the 2 is on. Well, guess what? That's the energy that you're going to be working with
Mm,
for those 2 cards, for those co-coordinates.
wow. Um, okay,
Just think about it for a minute, and then go back to the Mystic Test book and get the explanation for it. A lot of people can look at this a different way. But this
Mhm.
is the way I look at it when, going with co-coordinates and the way it was explained.
Wow. Yeah, that's actually an advanced study that I've never gotten into before.
It's
So
not. It's just maybe that you're explaining it. You know it in a different type of explanation as far as the way you look at it. How do you see those two sevens standing there together?
yeah,
Just
well,
just by themselves. How do you see how do you see those two sevens standing there together?
gosh, I apologize for that noise. My husband, that's the compressor going because he's got a nail gun or something he's working with. Um, well, they're the seven of diamonds and the seven of hearts being the first two cards in the descension hand of the ace of spades. I think there's a really powerful connection between being an individual and being able to allow people to be individuals, because seven is a number of uniqueness. The seven of diamonds is the poster child for I feel weird, I feel strange, but I found this self acceptance. I've learned to value myself as I am, even if I'm strange. And the truth is, there's no such thing as normal because every DNA, every soul journey, every bit of history, everyone is unique. So the seven of diamonds is the poster child for that, and the seven of hearts is the card of get over your attachments in needing people to be a certain way, let go of the expectations. And then that ace of spades is yes, I can stand in my truth. Hi, Raymond. Nice to see you. Yeah, we've got a reading tomorrow, don't we? Um, anyway, there's a connection there. So if you add those two sevens together, that's the thing that's just jumping out at me. Can you guys hear me okay? I know that noise is just horrendous.
I can hear you pretty good.
Good.
Okay, it's on page 41.
Oh, I don't have it with me. I brought a bag of books and the Mystic Test book. Thank you, Rikara. That's good to know. Yeah, so I want to just continue to move up into the Ascension hand because I want,
Okay.
the people that haven't been exposed to this Ascension cardology yet. It's two basic principles. Instead of going down and to the left, you go up and to the right. So we go down to pick up the Seven of Hearts moon card, but then we go to the right and up to find the complete hand, ascension hand of the Ace of Spades. So the other point is that ascension is more like moving into your potential. Like the majority of the cards that we've looked at, I mean, the only hands that we've looked at have done a very good job of taking us into and through our issues and our stuff and our karmic connections and growing and learning in this mirror. As the Ace of Spades is, it's like look at what you need to resolve, see the truth about yourself, but then the truth, like Macrina Wiedeker, she's this Christian mystic that said, Lord, tell me the truth about myself, no matter how wonderful it is. So the Ace of Spades is also the truth of yourself, is also your positive potential. And that's what I think, that's why it came through. I can't be the only one that this has come through to because it was just such a massive download for the world. So this Three of Diamonds becomes the Mercury card. Mars is the Five of Clubs. Jupiter is the Ten of Spades. Okay, so the Three of Diamonds in Mercury would say incredible diversity and creativity. And the way I look at the Three of Diamonds, all threes are directional except the diamonds. So, what I mean by directional is if you look at the clubs, you see how the pips can be upside down or upside right with the heart, club, and spade. So this is upright, the center one. And then look at the direction of these pips. They're moving apart. So there's an energy of expansion. There's an energy of choice. Do I go this way or this way? And that's why Robert Camp talks about threes being you're pulled between two things when a three shows up. And here you are in the center. Well, that's not the case with the Three of Diamonds because they're all the same shape up and down. They're symmetrical. And so what I see it as, let's all throw our cards on the table. Let's just have a listening session with everyone's values. Let's drop our judgments, let's drop our agendas, and let's hear everybody out and just see what can be created. And that synergy of the number three, it's a creative energy. It can be worry, in the negative, but really it's just an abundance of creative energy. And when you can drop the agenda and just kind of let things happen and unfold. And that's what I have been seeing since I've joined Clubhouse. I have been absolutely blown away, like both as a musician and as a cardologist and a bunch of the other things I do. I've developed my skills in private, I think, as most of us have. And there's a struggle to validate that. You can get the external certification and the degree, and that's one thing. And then you can do all this private training with your guides and get downloads and be instructed by. And that's, I think how a lot of us have developed into cardology. And now we're coming together. So check your ego at the door and see the incredible downloads that can happen when we come together. And that's what's absolutely blown my mind in joining Clubhouse and just listening to the groups. It's like, okay, and that's the mindset that Mercury is like the vehicle through which in which we travel through the world. All ideas are welcome. So that's kind of how I'm seeing that three of diamonds. Wow. And that's just coming through. I haven't prepared any of this. I'm just kind of riffing, and I'm going off of the collective energy in the room, which I think has been happening for a long time. As long as you've been in a group of people discussing the cards, this is the positive potential of the cards. And the money making potential is huge, as we've seen. So that's Dr. Sue's business. There's a little telephone on your button. What does that mean? I don't know what that means. Anyway, you can tell me in a minute. Um, so what is the Venus card? Okay, so for you today, this also applies to everyone today. Check your ego at the door, listen to all the other values of other people. So see this, the strength of the individual is flanked by let's be open to other ideas and let's have an attitude of non-attachment. So, like in my women's group, I had to drop my ego and say, maybe I'm right and maybe they're right and maybe we're all right about something, but I'm going to hold to my position. And there's this Buddhist Lojong saying that says, of the two witnesses, hold to the former. And what that means is there are two witnesses to your experience, yours and someone else's. Hold to the former, which is yourself. I am the witness of my own experience. I am the primary witness. They're the secondary witness. They have value, they have input. How many times has your friend called you out on something and you're like, whoa, check yourself? So you, as the authority, take that into consideration with openness and non attachment. But it does come back to you being the decider. You're in the center, as Dr. Seuss says. You fill up your square. How do you populate your square? You are your own secret. So there's an authority there. But it's not handled with arrogance, it's handled with honoring everyone else's. And there's a direct correlation to the King of Clubs here because the Ace of Spades, its moon card is the Two of Spades if you're looking at the ascension path, which the King of Clubs sits on top of. So that's mastery of one's consciousness. I know what I believe, I know what I think, and I'm connected to the divine. And I honor the fact that you're connected to the divine. Your subjective truth might be a little different from mine, and I honor yours as I honor mine. And so that's where we find true and balanced friendship. I respect you. Okay, so moving on, the Five of Clubs in Venus. That's a fun card. So this speaks to the relation. Oh, Two of Spades, Gemini ruled by Mercury. All we do is communicate. Oh, yeah, you're the Two of Spades, right? Yeah, right. So there's a love. There's a love of connection. There's a love of friendship. There's a love of interacting. It's like What's your take on this? And what do you think about this? And we absolutely love to talk about it. So, yeah, I like that. Thanks, Elle. Feel free to jump in and make comments like that. Okay. Because everyone's got insights about their cards, you know. Everyone's sitting in a different position, so you have a different view, you know, so they're all valid. Okay, so the 5 of clubs in Venus is about our relationships with each other, and it's research, isn't it? It's curiosity. There is an incredibly stimulating energy of let's talk about it, let's connect. When we are in the descension timeline, we struggle with our own value. Do I have something of value to contribute in the realm of cardology? And this is my card. I know this whole victim thing here. And when you heal that and you're like, yeah, you know what? My value is really important. It's unique. It's really special. Then it can elevate to this, let's research together, let's learn together, let's play. 5 is a playful energy, and it's looking at all 4 different energies, and the 5 of hearts is under this, so it's like a double 5, and it's very welcoming. 5 of hearts, I've nicknamed it the bartender's card because they can connect with anybody. My husband is the 3 of clubs, which makes this, both his Mercury and his Moon card, and the 5 of hearts is, oh my gosh, people are a feast. There's a natural, there's a hunger, there's a curiosity, I wanna know you, and when I first got, so this is the energy of today, but it's also the energy of the card system. Didn't you find yourself asking what everybody's birthday was? I mean, I asked the waiters, the waitresses, the salespeople, the store checker. I'm done with that now. I finished that about 10 years ago, but so I know I positively annoyed people, and then my friends would be like, "Okay, what's your birthday?" They would ask it before I did, and then I'd be plugging it in and learning, and there's this, hunger and curiosity, and what's so effective about that is that everyone wants to know about themselves. Basically, when you say, "What's your card?" You're saying, "I wanna know about you. Tell me about yourself." And this receptive energy of the 5 that's like, let's play. I'm not going to diagnose you. I'm not going to tell you what you are. I'm going to invite you to enlighten me. So that's that 5 energy. Okay, the 10 of spades in Mars. That's being really busy. All the horses are tied up and linked up to each other, and they're ready to just pull the load. It's a lot of horsepower. That's how I think of the 10 of spades. And in Mars, there's this incredible passion to move forward. And I think what the Ace of Spades is giving, what cardology is giving, what it is in service. So that's another aspect of the ascension hand. What are you giving? How are you serving? So that applies to today. What are you giving? How are you serving? Are you getting people in touch with their passion? Are you helping people find where they can be successful? That's what Dr. Sue is using it for business coaching. I use it for emotional psychological development. So it would be, how can you be successful as a human being? I'm all about your relationship to yourself. Personally, that's my mission. And the way cardology can assist is it really helps people feel like all thrusters are on just in terms of being a human being. So today you might feel a real forward attraction. I think of Mars as an attracting energy. It's so attractive that, like this fire energy, you can't not do it. So that's how I'm feeling about the cards lately, and with the discovery of Ascension cardology of just like, I want to be busy all the time. So really this is dharmic purpose. When you wake up thinking about it, you can't wait to get to it. You have to make yourself stop to eat. I mean, I've never had this experience before in my life where every day I've just been like, "Oh my god, I can't wait to sink my teeth into this. I love this so much." And that's the potential of today, and I have to say it's kind of a tall order. I'm 55 and I've just gotten that. I'm like, "Oh, it finally dropped in." It can be despair if you don't have everything plugged in, but this is the ascension of Ace of Spades today. So, what's your dharmic passion? You mentioned so L says, "You mentioned something in your recent live about changing the energy of your cards. How do we know when it's best to change the energy? I ask birthdays for those I communicate with." That's a really great question because, as with the cards, the answer is usually yes and both. You don't go from the descension hand to the ascension hand. There's a conversation happening between the two of them all the time. And some days you need to descend into working through your issues, like your Saturn card shows up in person or your Pluto card triggers the heck out of you and you have to deal with it. And you're like, okay, this is my work today. And on the very same day, your Pluto in the ascension may show up and says, "Hey, step up. This is a positive invitation into how you could be reborn into this new, move forward with this." Both can be happening at the same time. And my theory that I want us all to work on, I want this to, it will unfold itself. Is there a conversation between the two? So we're looking at 10 of Spades positive potential here as Mars. What's the Mars down here? Well, it's the 5 of Spades. It's half of the 10 of Spades. The Mars going down would be, how do I deal with massive change? Can I just sit down instead of being so frenetic and on the go? And that's the downside of the cards really, is there's too much information. It's overwhelming and you kind of go ADD and you're like, what should I look at first? And it's all overwhelming and I should learn it all. And that was this feeling like, when I learn it all, I should learn it all. I should master this. And it's like, that ain't going to happen. Because, like John says in the book of Revelation, that, if we said everything there is to say, there wouldn't be enough space in the world. There wouldn't be enough books in the world to, okay, chat. You guys can chat in the hallway. Sorry, I just saw something coming across the screen with Dr. Sue and I missed it because I have her microphone turned towards the computer in case she says anything. You guys can hear it. But, so the 5 of Spades really is an invitation to be present amidst a lot of frenetic possibilities, choices, opportunities, perspectives. And the 10 of Spades is more, I think, inclusive of everything. It's more holistic. The 5, I think, is this birth of change, a birth of curiosity, a birth of expansion, like a seedling, and it grows really fast, like spring, like wood energy. But the 10 is like, let's slow down and consider all the things, because the 1 has that initiation energy, the new beginning, like of the change. But then the 0 is, I've been around the block. Robert Camp said this. The 0 indicates you've been around the block. Many past lives have brought you to here, so you're seasoned with this pioneering challenge. And so, that's definitely true of a lot of us. So anyway, I'm developing the conversation between the descension Mars and the ascension Mars. How can we use presence to settle down into our passionate pursuit of unfolding this incredible tool, unlocking this esoteric ancient wisdom that really is bottomless? So, yeah, that's an example of that conversation. Excellent question, Raymond. Okay, so then moving on to, and Sue, if you have anything to add, just turn off your mute and just go, just break in. Okay, Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter. The Jupiter to the Ace of Spades is the Queen of Clubs, so you're Jupiter to yourself. That's the thing about Sages, they're always Jupiter to themselves. Hi, Ron. And Sky, I don't know if I acknowledged you. Hi. Ron came back. He was in the first class that Dr. Sue and I ever did. Oh, he just dropped out. He's like, no, 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 run away, run away. I don't know. He was in our first class that Dr. Sue and I did about ascension astrology, and it was very sweet. It was so sweet. But sometimes people feel called out. They don't like that. Sometimes they like to hide. Speaking of Ace of Spades, do you need to hide today? So yeah, all Sages are Jupiter to themselves in with this ascension line. So the Queen of Clubs, the psychic ability, the nurturing mother, the Mother Mary vibration, the organizer of information. I just said a mouthful right there in terms of today, in your differentiation with other people, in your coming to a clarity of your own vibration, your own truth, your unapologetic truth. Take up your space. Be yourself. It's okay if it's in contrast to other people. Remember to be nurtured and nourished by this largesse of Mother Mary, who in the spiritual spread sits here, Jupiter, Jupiter. She's on offer to the world. She's Jupiter saying, I love you all. And, her hands are down in most of the statues with her hands turned out, which is like humility and this welcoming in the children. So occupying that energy, choosing. And so when I went into my group thread with all my women friends, I was like, I stand I stand with myself and I welcome the possibility that I'm wrong. I What are we all on the same page with? Is how I ended my message. And I was like, well, making our vibration as high as it can be is what we're all on the same page with. So, making the decision to come to this Mother Mary vibration, and that's such a blessing to the world. And isn't this the blessing of the cards? Every time I did a reading in Boulder, I worked out of Boulder Lighthouse Bookstore, which is kind of like a tourist. It's on Pearl Street Mall. So we had international clientele from all over the world, all over the United States. Oh, I come in for a psychic reading from this illustrious shop in Boulder, Colorado, and there I am. Anyway, I read a lot of people over 7 years. And one gal, a five of hearts, came up and said to me, I just feel better after getting a reading from you. It's less about the information and it's more about feeling better. Boulder it's really fun. It's super high vibe. I lived there for 4 years and I wouldn't recommend living there, but I would recommend visiting there. It's a very loamy soil. You got to be aggressively self-expressed in Boulder. I believe in this and I really believe in it. So it kind of calls you out to be like, what's your truth? It probably resonates to the Ace of Spades. I don't know. It would be interesting to find out the birth of a city, looking into their records somehow to see what the vibration of that city is. It calls you to your individualized expression. So I really worked the cards. I worked myself. I learned how to really become visible, which is the irony of the card system. Anyway, it makes people feel better. So what I'm talking about is the Queen of Clubs is that there's this nurture. Okay, there is this hard-hitting information that the King of Clubs or Queen of Clubs can bring you because their ascension hand is Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn. And this is ruled by Mars, Jupiter, Saturn. They're all masculine. The crown line is very powerful. King of Spades, Eight of Diamonds, Ten of Clubs. So when the Queen of Clubs is in her mastery, she's in her power. She's in her authority. But there's a nurturing side that comes with it, this soft voice, when the Divine Mother has come through to people, they describe a coexisting energy of seriousness and authority, sternness, but love, unconditional love, support. I believe in you. I've got your back. That's the Jupiter vibration. So that's the potential of the cards is, when it's delivered with love. Okay, and of course, it's the most psychic card in the deck. Okay, Sue, I'm going to shut up for a second here. It's a hard thing for me to do, but I apologize for that. But Sue, do you have anything to say about that Queen of Clubs? I don't want to put you on the spot, but you are the Queen of Clubs, and being Jupiter to the Ace of Spades, of course, you're like, I'm going to use the cards for business mastery. I want to help people make money using the card system. I mean, it's just an incredible fit. So, okay. So, shall we talk about Saturn? The Saturn of the Ace of Spades. The challenge is the Ace of Clubs, self-knowledge. Okay, so what is ascended Saturn? What's the softer or more positive? What's the most positive spin we can put on Saturn? It's an invitation to mastery, is the phrase that I've come up with. But my mom was a Capricorn, and there was, oh, it makes me want to cry. There was a loyalty of support, there was a strength. Capricorn being ruled by the King of Spades, and my mom was the King of Spades. There's this unconditional, how did I get on this subject? Oh, Saturn, Capricorn. This unconditional support, I've got you. It's a strength while working. Okay, I love all the info. I'm going to have to re-listen because I'm listening while working and receiving calls while you're sharing info. I got it. Thank you for tuning in, Ray. I really appreciate that. So we're at 41 minutes 57, yeah, 42. We're at 42. That's your marker. So the invitation is self-knowledge. That's the tricky thing, right? Know thyself. The cards will give you an opportunity to know yourself in a way. Like, why does the 8 of diamonds trigger me? Because in the descension hand for the 9 of hearts, it sits under the 7 of clubs, which is power of voice. Why is it hard for me to shut up when I've got control of a conversation? How can I learn to pause and be more receptive? That 8 of diamonds under there, the mouthpiece of the 7 of diamonds. If you ever noticed, some 7 of diamonds don't know when to stop talking. It's true, and I'm so sorry. And that's why I get triggered by the 8 of diamonds, is they're reflecting back to me this power, and I've nicknamed it the asshole card because that's my internal asshole. So yeah, self-knowledge. So what's the other half of this Ace of Clubs? We have to talk about the 2 of Hearts. So this self-knowledge has an intimate relationship to intimacy and love. Don't you just fall in love with yourself too? It's the invitation to fall in love with your uniqueness. Like Robert Camp said one time, just try to not be your card. And like Dr. Seuss says, fill up that square, populate your square with yourself. Oh, good. We have a comment in Clubhouse. Hi. Are you on an form speak? I am on a live YouTube on my Kismet Cards channel at the same time. And with the delay, I wouldn't recommend listening to both at the same time unless you mute the YouTube. Mute the YouTube probably, because the timing. I'm guessing that's what you're asking. But if that's not right, Sky, then ask it again. Oh, another comment. Are you on another form of speaking? Did that answer the question? So that the 2 of Hearts and a bunch of other things are popping into my head today. So this Ace of Clubs and the, knowing thyself leading to, oh, good, you're welcome. Knowing thyself leads to loving thyself, really, ultimately. And this Ace of Spades day, it really gets me choked up. There's a mysterious opportunity here today to really fall in love with yourself and with the people around you for just being how and who they are. Like, I can hear Stuart in there swearing at himself for cutting something wrong again because he's the 3 of clubs and he's got 7 of clubs in Mars, which means he's got this dyslexic thing going on. And I just love him for that. Okay, the other mystical thing about, and I want to do a whole mystical, like, I want to do a workshop someday on the esoteric teachings of the cards, which are just extant in the card system itself without personalizing the cards. And the Ace of Clubs, 2 of Hearts study is one of those that I've kind of climbed into. It is the esoteric teaching on intimacy, intimacy with the divine, intimacy with the self, capital S, self realization, capital S, the divine love affair, the oneness, being the Buddha, the 0 point, all of these things, the beloved, the friend. So Rumi in Christianity is the path of self and other, the 2 of Hearts. Buddhism and like some of the more like new thought movement type things are the oneness, like the I am source, a lot of other, philosophies out there that come to unity with the divine by saying, I am the divine. I am one with the divine. There is only one being here. It is source in a multiplicity of expressions. So this mystery as a Saturn card to the Ace of Spades is available today. It's a really good day to meditate. Yeah, so when I hang up with this, I'm just going to sit here and I'm going to pick up the camera with the YouTube and just show you what's out the window. So Estes Park, there were deer in the yard when we arrived. There's Stuart out there working with his saw. In this room where we're just at a cabin. Yeah, it's really beautiful. So one other thing I want to offer about this is when you're working with the cards with other people, you will fall in love with them, and there will be this incredible heart opening where you just honor and respect the challenge it is to be every card. While I was writing up all the reports for my website, I was at Starbucks. That was my office. I had to get out of my own house, and I would sit and cry. I would be writing up somebody's path, and I'd be like, oh my God, this is their hero's journey. This is their formula. This is how they get back home. This is how they find out who they are. This is how they resolve things in their life this time around, and ultimately there was this knowing that this is how they will come to know themselves as a divine being. And I was so deeply moved by that it would just wash over me. And there I'd be in public, just tears streaming down my face, going, I'm in this esoteric poignancy place and I can't explain it to anybody. So here I am explaining it to you. This is such a beautiful moment. This is such a beautiful moment for me. And thank you all for being in this moment with me, sharing this. Thank you for being your divine selves. I honor I honor you. It's, it's really hard to be your card in a lot of ways, isn't it? There's an essential paradox to every card. Like, I'm really this, but I'm really that. Like, I'm really curious, but I'm really sensitive. I want to go out and explore, but I get hurt really easy. That's the 5 of clubs. Oh my God, my dog is so cute. I'm looking at him. Anyway, so let's move on to the Uranus card. The 3 of Hearts Isn't that the ultimate Uranus vibration? It's the unconventional love affair. Um, and it's in Uranus for the Ace of Spades, but it's also community and small groups, which is Uranus. There is a perfect symmetry. I've noticed this particularly with like the Six of Spades hand, and now I'm noticing it with the Ace of Spades hand. There's a symmetry with the meaning of the card and the planetary position it occupies. So creativity and a 3, good fit. Um, Friendship and curiosity, good fit, the 5. Um, Passionate, single-minded focus and a desire for success, 10 of spades, good fit for Mars. The Jupiter of the Ace of Spades being psychic, being nurturing, organizing information, that's the blessing, good fit. Plus, the Queen of Clubs sits in Jupiter, Jupiter. That's her nature. So the Ace of Spades in the Ascension hand, even over here in the mundane or Earth spread, is telling us about the symmetry of the card system. This is really amazing. I am just kind of, my mind is being blown myself. And here's the Uranus card in the Uranus position. So it creates it creates community. And I would posit that genius downloads come through community with cardology. So the reason I'm getting these mind-blowing downloads is because I'm in community with you guys. I'm in your field. Your field is influencing my field. It's informing and adding to. We have a collective field where 2 or 3 are gathered. There will I be in their midst. Speaking of the Jack of Hearts, where does he show up for the Ace of Spades dissension hand? Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter. Is that right? Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter. Yeah, Jesus is Jupiter and descending. I love that. The Christ spirit, the willingness to bear the burden of being yourself, of being human, of incarnating as a divine being into a body. That's the path of the Christ. That's you, that's me, that's all of us realizing our oneness with God and growing in love. That's the descension of Ace of Spades, is that compassionate hand that reaches into your retrograde, your work, your wounds, your past, your healing work, and saying, you know, the blessing here is that you chose this for humanity. You chose to be a poster child of your card to contribute your valuable essence to this work of art that is creation. Wow, we haven't even looked at this. So I am not favoring, I'm presenting the Ascension hand because it's hasn't come out yet. I'm bringing it out. But the Descension hand you just witnessed is just as precious and amazing. It is your healing path. It's your wounds. It's your, and we bob back and forth between those two, don't we? So continuing on up, Uranus, Neptune is the king of spades. What are we learning about Neptune with the King of Spades? We usually think of King of Spades, I do, as being the wet blanket on the party because they're so dang serious. I mean, my mom was the King of Spades. They're very rare, but yeah, she was the pessimist. Saturn, what could go wrong? Which is, a realism, and if they've got your back, you feel safe. But King of Spades is Neptune. What I've come to understand about the Ascension hand is that King of Spades itself has 8 of diamonds in its Mercury. So its view is the big picture. And it's the Queen of Spades, self-mastery. How can I take responsibility? As I look at the world, I take full responsibility for how my consciousness has created my reality. So I think of the King of Spades more as a mental organization, an inventory of yourself. But being Neptune to the Ace of Spades, Neptune is the ideal possibility. It's that which we hold out as the ideal. Oh, and Dr. Sue, I have not been looking whether or not you've taken your microphone off. I'm just looking at the comments. Let me get back to that. Okay. Joe, wow, your mom, King of Spades. Yes, it is. And me being the seven of diamonds, my daughter's the eight of clubs, my grandmother was the eight of clubs, my partner's planetary ruler's the nine of hearts. So yeah, circle of seven cards. They show up in each other's lives really frequently. Um, so okay, so the King of Spades as Neptune, the divine possibilities. Um, yeah, I'm just noticing our room and clubhouse emptied out except for Sue and me. Maybe you can tell me later if I've done something wrong in clubhouse that I'm just going to keep going as an ace of spades. Okay, Jamila. Yeah, thank you. So Joe and is it Jamila? Give me your birthdays because I like to keep track of the cards that we have in the room. Raymond, I didn't put you down. Raymond, two of spades. Yeah, and this, I have to admit, this is more of a teaching class than it is a discussion. And the discussions are really fun. Oh, you're the three of diamonds. Yay! And Joe, you are the, okay, Jamila. Hi, Max. Do you want to go outside? Oh, I shouldn't have said that word. It's windy. It's really windy. We'll do it in a little while. Oh, and your partner there. Yeah, Alicia is the king of diamonds. Thanks. I'll put Alicia, king of diamonds. And Joe, you're the king of diamonds. Same. So we have two king of diamonds. Rikara, are you the king of hearts? If Rikara is still with us, she's king of hearts or king of diamonds. I get those two mixed up. And Dr. Sue, we need to have a conversation later about. I forgot the term you gave it, but when two of the same cards are next to each other. King of hearts. Okay, thank you. Because those kings, there's something going on there, and there's this number formula that I was given that has to, and I can't remember it now, which really pisses me off because it was brilliant, but it was when you add the kings together. So the king of hearts and the king of diamonds add up to the king of spades, and the king of clubs and the king of clubs adds up to the king of spades. So you get two king of clubs together, you have mastery. You get the king of hearts and the king of diamonds together, you have mastery. Which means that there's a very tight relationship between the two of clubs and the three of clubs that sit under them, the communicator and the writer. Well, obviously. So anyway, those are just some thoughts, and we can do some numbers on that. Oh, Noli's all truth. Hi, Sky here. Sky, hi. You were on Clubhouse. Thank you. Okay, Sky is here now. And Sky, when's your birthday? Sorry, I don't remember that. I will. I learn these gradually. And then I forget them. I learn people's cards and then I forget them when I get to know them because their unique soul becomes more primary to me than their card. You know, your soul is primary. Your soul chose to be the card because the soul wanted the growth that comes with the difficulty of being your card. And all the ways you annoy yourself, that's exactly why you chose your card. To sand off the edges and develop patience and self-love and tolerance and all that stuff. Okay, Sky, so five of clubs. Great, because the five of clubs has come up several times. It's what I call a nexus when there's a nexus around a particular card on a particular day. Okay, so I was drawing a blank with this King of Spades. So there's a divine potential with the King of Spades as a Neptune card. Neptune is what we idealize, what we dream about. So for example, the Neptune of the five of clubs, Sky, I'll use you as an example. Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune. Okay, so the 10 of clubs is double the five of clubs. It's two five of clubs. So you're something that you, and this is what's fun to realize, is that the things we idealize are unique to us. Like when someone says, "Oh, my greatest dream is to own a yacht and move to Madagascar." And you're like, okay. You know, maybe the five of spades is their Neptune card. And you're like, making a lot of money. And for me, it's making a lot of money. Because my Neptune card descending is the king of diamonds. So it's like, I want to own my own business. Not everyone wants that. So the 10 of clubs for you, ascension, 5 of clubs, is to be a paradigm shifter. I got this knowledge. I've been researching. I'm a researcher. I'm really curious. I've been learning a lot about people. Hi, Miss Stell. Oh, I love that. Mother and grandmother. So they were sisters or mother daughter in a past life. That's intimacy. God, I lose my train of thought. So you want to be a paradigm shifter, but as the 5 of clubs, thank you, Miss Dell. I'm trying to remember what your card is. You're the 7 of diamonds. You're Cancer. 7-8. Miss Dell came on the show yesterday, and we had 4 7 of diamonds in the room. It was crazy. And we had only diamonds and hearts. That was just the theme. Because the 7 of diamonds, just, we needed each other, I guess. I've always wanted that, for a bunch of 7 of diamonds to get together and be like, how weird is it to be you, right? Okay, so anyway, you, the 5 of clubs, Sky, I'm talking to you. Yes, I will. The 9 of spades is tricky, Jamila. Did I get your birthday? I love that you said that. Oh, okay, so Jamila is the 3 of diamonds. Okay. So, yes, 5 of clubs, Sky. You've learned a lot. You're curious. You've researched a lot. You've accumulated a lot of information. But the 5 to the 10 is sort of like the jack to the king. It's like, oh, are people going to take me seriously? Yes, if you take yourself seriously. So 8-10 is the 3 of diamonds. Okay, so you're a Leo 3 of diamonds, which means, Jamila, I'm guessing that's a girl's name. The Queen of Diamonds is a big deal for you. Check out the hand of the Queen of Diamonds and the Destiny cards read for. I do that for myself as a Leo diamond, and it is so right on. Kind of the diamond is more like your external or personality life, your relationships, your business, kind of you taking the role as a woman, and it would be the king for a man and the jack for both as inner child energy, your creative energy. I don't access that enough. We should all access our personality cards more. So the not okay, I will answer that question, and then I'll get back to the king of spades as Neptune, to the king, to the ace of spades, and then 8 of diamonds as Pluto. So, ooh, that's going to be tricky. So the 9 of spades, and this is the descension hand for the 3 of diamonds. So we'll call it descension or retrograde or just working out your shit. Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune. That's how we're getting there. So the 9 of spades is, it's a transcendence card. It's the biggest context with which to understand something. So you would start with, like, well, if I'm trying to figure out why, okay, let's take ADD, for example. It's just easy for me. And because you have a 5 right next to you, you might be a little ADD too. My first context is my biochemistry. The next context might be, oh, I'm a 7 of diamonds and I have this 5 of spades. So I have this, okay, so how can I flip this in the positive? A larger context that's emotionally supportive and maybe speaks to my purpose. Larger context, why did I choose this before I came in? And so that's why it's the death card, is because death is the largest, one of the largest contexts we will ever get for this life. The past life review, the pre-life choices, the karmic arrangements. So, as a Neptune card, your ideal is to get the largest perspective on a situation you can possibly take in order to understand something, to see it in its totality. And you could also say, it is my greatest wish to just be frickin' done with this lifetime. I am so tired. Can we just be done? I don't know if that's true for you because you know what? It's the 3 of diamonds has been called the most difficult life path because they have the Jack of Hearts in Saturn. So the sacrifice card, all the 7 of hearts, the betrayal, the need for forgiveness. I mean, the shit hits the fan for 3 of diamonds. Let's face it, you've got the entire Venus line for the emotional work, the pain, the transformation, the struggle, the sacrifice. Yes, I did remember. Um, so anyway, the 3 of diamonds, of course, fantasizes about death. Can I just be done? It's trip faux show. Yeah, and us in the 7 of diamonds having the Venus line, it's like I call it the graduate degree in emotional development. It's no picnic. Okay, it's no picnic for anybody. But anyway, I'm just really having compassion for the 3 of diamonds right now. So yeah, I hope that gives you some enlightenment. And your Neptune with the ascension hand would be Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune. It would be the 8 of diamonds. It would be, I kind of want to rule the world. I kind of want to be a CEO. I kind of want to make a lot of money. I kind of want to be in charge of a lot of things. Okay, we've opened the funny bone. So, King of Spades, I have to admit this, I'm stumped. That's really great. Okay. So how is the King of Spades? It's a mystery card because there's so few examples, living examples, personifications of the King of Spades. One of their problems is they take too much. See, I think of their problems. They take too much responsibility for stuff that isn't theirs. But the high side is this gracious father energy, the father of all creation, the alignment with source, creator source. So as a Neptune, oh, that's why I was crying earlier. I get it. Their greatest ideal of the card system and of today as the Ace of Spades is to unite with source, to have a relationship to source, to merge with source. Because I think the Ace of Spades, I think the card system ultimately, what's the end goal? What's the ideal? What's the best possible outcome? I'll leave that for you to ponder. You're welcome, Jamila. Okay, Pluto. Let's look at ascended Pluto, which would emphasize the rebirth part of death and rebirth. Rebirth into agency. Agency. Pluto ascension of the card system is to be an agent. That means the active ingredient, the responsible decider. Agency rather than victimhood. It's the opposite of victimhood. It's the capacity to take full responsibility for the choices that you've made, but in this victorious sense. Like you get credit too. It's not an ego thing. It's, I created this. I created this life path experience for myself, co created. Your guides helped you, and the family helped you, and everybody, meaning the galactic family, and the angels, and Jesus, and everybody. But you were the agent. And the card system helps us really understand the intricacies of the plan. Okay, so how is 10 of clubs? If we take two more, we've got Jupiter plus, Jupiter or Saturn plus, cosmic moon, and transformed self. And those are both karmic or I signed up for this. I would say it's what I just said. It's agency. I signed up for this. I take full karmic responsibility. It was an appointment I had with time, with God. So 10 of clubs as Jupiter plus paradigm shifter. Enough said. Saturn plus is Queen of Hearts, which is The invitation into bliss is what I would say, and I'm not going to pursue that because I would be floundering a bit. So that is the ascended hand of the Ace of Spades, and that is your invitation for today. So thank you so much for being with me. I'm going to kind of close it with a little, like, I don't know, meditation. And I'll welcome a few more questions. If you've got something that's really come up for you, it's a day to talk about the card system. It's a day to know thyself. I know. One thing I want to talk about, one final thing would be, in addition to whatever questions you add, is where is the Ace of Spades over here? Dr. Sue reminds me of this regularly, and I have not begun this arena of study to take the ascended hand over here, but there are a lot of goodies over here in the spiritual spread. So the Ace of Spades sits in the intersection. This is the broad information. It sits in Uranus, Saturn. I think of the vertical lines as the divine version of that planetary energy. I might be wrong. I don't know. But if we look at divine Saturn, which is purpose, what's your divine purpose here? What did God authorize you to do here? And then Uranus is about the legacy that we leave, the contribution to humanity, the collective consciousness, the Christ consciousness, the age of Aquarius, ascension. Uranus is ascension. Then you shall find, is that sky? Venus. You're going to find a lot of this energy in the context of your relationships, especially with women. And for me, my Venus, my ascension Venus, is the Ace of Spades as the Seven of Diamonds, which means it is in the context of my relationships with women that I truly define myself. And I find this egalitarian balance of acceptance and everything. Everyone gets to be themselves, and that doesn't mean we have to agree, but I will retain my selfhood in this context without leaking my energy, without caretaking, without leaving myself. So yeah, that's a really powerful learning ground for me. So how does the Ace of Spades as the card system occupy divine purpose? Well, it's here for the age of Aquarius. The divine purpose of the Ace of Spades is the age of Aquarius and the process of ascension. Claudio L, hi. I love that you're here, and I love that you've brought Eight of Clubs energy. I'm going to stay on for a minute just because I love, love, love the Eight of Clubs. And I've learned something tricky about and this is an assignment I can give you guys. I shall open up my Ascension Me, the disorganized ADD. I actually started like my Ascension Cardology book 2 days ago on the Three of Spades. I have the title page, Ascension Cardology. You're welcome, Sky. I have the table of contents. I have my prayer this is the prayer and invocation. Dear God, I give this all to you, highest intentions, blah, 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 help me get out of the way. This is the table of contents, and this is what I encourage you to do. Dr. Sue did this, and I was like, yep, this makes really, really good sense. Seven of Diamonds at the top, and my descending hand on the left, retrograde, and the direct or ascending hand on the right. And then you can see how I wrote in the conversation between my Saturn descending Two of Hearts and my Ten of Spades ascending. That's the composite of my marriage, the Ten of Spades. So it's like, wow, there's a conversation happening there. And when I did this, it probably, yes, it is. It is. My friend got a really good deal on these. So she bought a whole bunch of them and she's like, "Hey, do you want one of these?" And it does. I also, okay, speaking of EMF, squirrel, I have to show you this. So these are magnets you can get at Walmart for like $4 for a package of 52 of these. And I just have a grouping of 6 because I like the number 6. I'm 8666 is my birthday. And I have 2 of these and I have them in each pocket. And I swear they make me feel different. I think they really help with the EMF. Sorry, I sent her down a rabbit trail. Okay, so getting back to this, do this study. Write out your cards like this and see all the little glyphs, the little symbols I've got. Okay, well, I made a discovery with my 9 of hearts ascending. This is for all the 7 of diamonds in the room. With the 9 of hearts ascending hand and the 7 of diamonds descending hand, the transformed self card is the 8 of clubs for both of them. That's why they have such an intense relationship with each other, is that they represent, so for the 8, for 8 of clubs, 7 of diamonds, they represent to each other all the things that you could become. So of course they're going to trigger the hell out of you. My daughter's the 8 of clubs. She's triggered the hell out of me for, I don't know, the first 18 years. It was really hard. And man, she taught me to stand in my power and my truth. And I actually had to sit her down one time and say, "Honey, I'm the mom this time. And I know it's gonna be weird. Sorry." Anyway, so yes, and Dr. Sue found a parallel too, where the 5 of spades was Neptune in either direction, one in the soul spread, one in the mundane spread. So you're gonna discover a lot, unlock the other half of the mystery. It's the same roadmap. We've just opened up our understanding that we were only seeing half the picture. So yay! I love you guys. Thank you so much for being here. Go off, study, learn, grow, and just really cherish your unique, amazing, dignified selfhood today. And tomorrow is the King of Diamonds. God bless everybody. Big hugs. I know it's like I'm going to pause for a minute because that'll take a few seconds for you guys to see it. And like everybody writes in, "Thank you," and "I love you." And it's like I don't want to sign off before I give you a chance to say whatever you want to say. Okay, Dr. Sue, I'll sign off of this. Thank you for being here with me. Do you want to come back on and chat for a minute? I'll close out the class. Okay, end stream.